What films are you working on right now?
Oh gosh, right now I can't actually say, but I've got a best-selling book that I've been offered to direct. It's a book that is sold over 8 million copies, so it's a very well-known book, and that was brought to me. I'm currently studying. I started teaching out at this school in Northern California, which is a school about the supernatural, and I started teaching there film and acting with my friend Diane Venora, who's an A-list actress, and the school was so amazing. Like, they're praying for people and they're getting healed, and I've just grown to understand that the Great Spirit, who is love, wants so much to manifest love on the planet, and I've grown so much in understanding what that is. When love comes on the scene, things change. Like right now, I'm feeling the presence of love between us, and you're feeling it too. And that love changes the planet, and that's really what we need today, more than anything else, more than money, more than fame, more than power. We need love, because love covers everything in life, and so that's what I've been learning. And I've been praying that this project wouldn't, like, the contracts wouldn't go forward until after I'm done in May. And I believe when I do, what I'm learning to do is to bring this presence of love into my work at a whole new level. Because I believe that what we're feeling right now together, when you can do that on camera, and that can be released to millions of people, that'll almost be like medicine, but like really beautiful medicine, you know? And film has the power to do that. Film has the power to just, you know how, like, sometimes you'll be like, I was sick one time. We're in the Sahara Desert. We're doing this medical thing in the desert, like clinics and stuff. And I got sick on the food, and I'd never get sick, and I felt like I was going to die. And we're with all these doctors, and they're giving me this, like, pills and everything. And I put on a film, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the C.S. Lewis film. And I literally felt like I put that film on, and that film brought me back to life. There was something about the hope in it, and that lion when he comes out and he's like, and I was like, oh, and I came back to life. It was amazing. And a film can do that, you know? So if we can put love in films, it's like the Beatles said, what the world needs now is love, 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 you know? And that's really the movement. I feel like I'm fathering a movement of bringing love into the world on a whole new level. And so this project, this book, I think will be really powerful for that, because I think also people's view of the supernatural and the divine and the Great Spirit is very twisted. It's very not reality. And when people feel that presence, they say, oh, like, people meet me and they're like, oh, you're very spiritual. I feel something about you. And I'm like, well, that's love, you know? And they're like, oh, you know? And whereas before, like, a lot of people who walk in spiritual things can be kind of harsh or judgmental, or, you know, rules and all that. The greatest rule is love. You know, if you love people as you love yourself, you've fulfilled, like, everything that you need to do in this life to have a great life. An author or an artist can only create out of the abundance of their heart. And that's why it comes back to the theme earlier in our interview, where it's so important to tell our stories. When you come from a sector of society that's been marginalized, that has been repressed or disenfranchised, a lot of times what happens is that you feel like your stories aren't important. Our stories are important, and they need to be told.
What advice can you give to youth who want to tell their stories?
Today, it's easier than ever to make films, because you can buy a digital camera or borrow one. I mean, you even have them on their phone. I was thinking, how cool would it be to have a film festival of flip movies that you make with a flip camera? They're like $99. When I came into this business, it was expensive. Like, to get a camera was crazy, and you had to, like, beg, borrow, and steal to get time on an editing system. Today, you have get on a computer, a Mac, We love Mac. And edit, you shoot with the camera, edit, and you can do it like this show. You probably do it with the camera, a mic, and a laptop. You could do it right here and cut the whole film. So I would say just get out there, start small, don't go too big. Do some little slice of life and start showing what life really is like. The other advice I say is don't try to reinvent the wheel. Find a film that you really love or that impacts you or that like touches your heart, and then imitate that film. That's how the great masters learned. If you go to the great museums of the world, like the Louvre or the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, in there you'll see artists in there looking at the masters' paintings and sketching those paintings. That is a brilliant way to learn. And that whole methodology of apprenticeship, where you work under a master and you watch what they do, you carry their bags and wash their car like the Karate Kid, that really works because there's something that can be transmitted through that presence with somebody. So also maybe look for a mentor, find somebody and just get around them and be helpful, and don't worry about getting paid. Just get around them, make yourself useful. And I'll give you the one advice that I got when first job in my career. I was 16 years old, and the director of the shoot said to me, always think ahead. When your boss goes to ask for something, have it there, here it is. If you do that, you'll always work. And another thing for a filmmaker, if you want to be a director, learn how to tell stories. Read, study, and learn how stories are communicated. And a great way to do that, again, is to imitate what you already have seen and what's impacted you. And then over time, if you don't give up, if you don't grow weary in going after it and working hard, having a good work ethic, being honest. The other thing I say is it's important not only what you create, but how you create it. A lot of filmmakers are very exploitive. They'll come in and they'll use up the people. They'll like make promises that they're not going to keep. They'll take money and then like just spend it. And that is a wrong way. Even if you create a great film and you leave a trail of wreckage behind you, that's not cool. There is karma in the world, and the things that you do, whatever you sow, you end up reaping. So if you sow good things, you'll reap a good harvest. If you sow bad things just to get to what you want to do, you're going to reap a bad harvest.
Thanks, Rene, for the interview. I'm Coley Kohler, and I'm on Native Ground.
Mi nombre es Rene Simón Cruz y voy pa'lante on Native Ground. My name is Rene Simon Cruz of Esperanza Films, and we're manufacturing hope one heart at a time on Native Ground.